today, we are diving into something that's both powerful and, let's be honest, a little misunderstood: ethical persuasion. We're going to break down how you can inspire people, how you can influence decisions, but do it all while staying firmly on the right side of that ethical line. Let's jump in. So here's the question at the heart of it all. How do you actually influence people without getting that kind of icky, manipulative feeling? A lot of us face this, whether you're a leader in sales or really just trying to get your point across at home. There's this fear that persuasion is, well, that it's just a nicer word for deceit. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? Exactly. The influence expert Kenrick Cleveland puts it perfectly. That's a false choice. The idea that you have to choose between being effective and being ethical, it's just not true. In fact, what we're going to unpack today is why the most effective persuaders are almost always the most ethical ones. Okay, so let's get right to the core of it. Influence versus manipulation. Where is that line, really? Because understanding this difference is the absolute key to communicating with both integrity and impact. And this fear, it's totally understandable. Nobody wants to be the person who tricks or pressures someone into something. But here's the flip side. That very same fear can hold us back from being effective, from communicating clearly, and sometimes even from helping people make choices that are genuinely in their own best interest. So, what really is the defining line? What's the actual distinction? It's probably not what you think. It's not about being aggressive versus being passive, and it's not even about the specific words you choose. Here it is. This is the big idea for today. The exact same psychological tools, things like scarcity or social proof, things we see every day, they can be used for good or for bad. The real difference, the defining line, it all comes down to two simple things: your intent behind it and the final outcome for the other person. This chart just lays it out so clearly. Manipulation at its core is a win-lose game. It's designed to serve you, but at their expense. And it almost always works by hiding some crucial piece of information. On the other hand, ethical persuasion is all about creating a win-win. It serves them, which in turn benefits you. And it's built on a foundation of sharing information so they can make the absolute best decision for themselves. So how do you check yourself in the moment? Here's a super practical test. Just ask yourself this one simple question. If the other person could see my entire thought process right now, my motives, what I get out of this, would they thank me for it, or would they feel used? Your gut answer tells you everything you need to know. Okay, so with that little test in our back pocket, let's actually build out a practical framework. Because before you even think about using specific techniques, you've got to have a solid ethical foundation to build on. And that foundation really rests on these three pillars. Number one, create genuine value. Is what you're suggesting actually going to help them? Does it serve their interests? Number two, be transparent. Are you sharing all the important information, even the potential downsides? And number three, respect autonomy. Do they have a real choice to just say no without any negative comeback? If you can honestly say yes to all three of those, you are on incredibly solid ground. Now, once that framework is in place, we can start to look at all those classic persuasion techniques. But we're not looking at them as weapons, right? We're looking at them as tools. Tools that can help people get past their own uncertainty and make better decisions. And a really great way to organize these tools is to think about how they connect with us. Do they appeal to our logic, our emotions, or our desire for cooperation? You can think of it as appealing to the head, the heart, and the hands. Let's look at a couple of quick examples. First step, let's talk about social proof. You see this one everywhere. It's that simple, powerful idea that we look to what other people are doing to guide our own choices, especially when we're feeling a bit unsure. This is exactly why customer reviews and testimonials are so incredibly powerful. And right here, you can see that ethical line in high definition. The manipulative use, faking reviews, or cherry-picking a few testimonials to create a totally false impression. But the ethical use, that's about sharing real success stories from people just like them, to help lower their uncertainty and build genuine confidence. See the difference? All right, next up we have reciprocity. This is that deeply human instinct to want to give something back when we've received something. When someone does us a genuine, unexpected favor, we feel this natural pull to return that kindness.
So the manipulative approach here is giving a tiny little gift that's really just designed to make you feel obligated to say yes to a much bigger request later. But the ethical approach, it's about genuinely helping someone with no strings attached. You're just building a real relationship. Any reciprocity that comes from that is just a natural, positive outcome.
And finally, let's never forget the power of the heart. This quote says it all. Facts and data, they appeal to our logic, to our head. But stories? Stories connect with our emotions. A well-told, authentic story can bypass all that skepticism and build a real connection in a way that a spreadsheet, well, a spreadsheet rarely can. So, we know how to be ethical. But is it actually more effective? I mean, why isn't manipulation the faster path to getting what you want? Well, the answer really lies in looking beyond just this one single moment. This slide says everything. Manipulation is a short-term game. It's all about one transaction. It might get you a yes today, but it completely destroys the trust you need to get a yes tomorrow. Ethical persuasion, though, that's the long-term, strategic play. It builds trust that actually compounds over time, turning people from customers into true advocates who will champion you and your cause for years to come. So when you boil it all down, ethical influence isn't just about taking the moral high ground. It is a massive strategic advantage. When people genuinely trust you, their natural resistance just melts away. Your reputation starts doing the heavy lifting for you before you even walk in the room. It truly is the competitive advantage that's hiding in plain sight. So I want to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. What if you just shifted your entire mindset from winning to serving? What if your greatest influence doesn't come from winning an argument, but from genuinely serving another person's interest? When you focus on that, on helping others get their best outcome, influence just becomes this natural byproduct. You stop worrying about crossing a line because you're way too busy building a bridge. Thanks for tuning in.